Hi everyone, this is Bipin Kumar, founder of RPM Tutorials. Welcome to my channel. I'm going to talk about congruency in triangles, which is a very important concept in geometry. Let's look at what is congruency. If there are two triangles given, ABC and DEF, and if you lift triangle DEF and try to put over ABC, if DEF exactly overlaps ABC, that means ABC and DEF are congruent triangles. This is how physically you should visualize the congruency in triangles. What that means geometrically is that angle A and angle D will be equal, angle B and angle A will be equal, angle C will be equal to angle F. Okay. Also, if it has to exactly overlap, then the sides, corresponding sides also need to be equal, which means AB will be equal to DE, BC will be equal to EF, and AC will be equal to DF. Okay. If you happen to find two triangles ABC and DEF meeting these conditions, it means they are congruent. And the congruence is written geometrically this way: the triangle ABC is congruent to triangle DEF. Okay. Now, if two triangles are congruent, then the corresponding sides and angles, they coincide by superposition, which I had explained earlier also, that angle A will be equal to angle D, angle B will be equal to angle E, angle C will be equal to angle F, and likewise the sides also will be equal, that is AB will be equal to D, BC will be equal to EF, and AC will be equal to DF. Okay, that is what it means by corresponding sides and angles coincide by superposition. This triangle superimposed on ABC exactly. Okay. Another thing which we need to understand in congruency is the corresponding sides lie opposite to the equal angles. What does that mean? Let's look at these two triangles which are congruent. Angle A of ABC is equal to angle D of DEF. Then opposite sides, opposite to angle A is side BC, opposite to angle D is side EF. That are the sides, those are the sides which are corresponding sides. If this angle is equal to this angle, then corresponding sides are the sides opposite to these angles. Likewise, if this side is equal to this side, then opposite angles, corresponding opposite angles are C and F. Okay. Next important stuff in congruency is corresponding parts of congruent triangles are also congruent. What does that mean? That if these two triangles are congruent, then if suppose you have proved that this angle is equal to this angle, this side is equal to this side, right? And maybe this angle is equal to this angle. Okay? Then the corresponding part, because this angle is equal to this angle, so corresponding part is these sides like BC and EF. Those will be congruent, that is, those will be equal, right? Similarly, the corresponding angle for this side is angle C, and if AB and DE are equal, then corresponding angle of DE in this triangle is F. So angle C will also be equal to F. That is what is meant by corresponding parts of congruent triangles are also congruent. Okay. If you have to prove two triangles congruent, you do not need to prove all angles being equal correspondingly, or all side corresponding need to be equal. There are 5 ways in which you can prove congruency of two triangles. One is SAS. In SAS, what you need to prove is that one side of one triangle, like in this case AB, is equal to DE. Another side BC is equal to EF in another triangle, and the intermediate angles, in this case angle B, is equal to angle E. If you are able to prove that in these two triangles, two sides and intervening angle are equal, then these two triangles will be corresponding. And because these two triangles will be corresponding, therefore corresponding parts of congruent triangles are also congruent. CPCTC in short it is called. That will be applicable for these two triangles. What does that mean? That because these two have been proved congruent using SAS method, so then opposite to this side is this angle, so this angle C will be equal to angle A. Opposite to this side is angle A, and because this side is equal to this side, so the corresponding angle is D. So these two angles A and D will be equal. And because angle B is equal to angle E, therefore corresponding sides like AC and DF will also be equal. That is what is meant by CPCTs. Okay. As I told you that there are 5 ways these congruencies can be proved, and depends on what is given and what is to be proved, you choose any of these methods. SAS I had talked about. ASA is that you prove two angles between these two triangles equal and the intervening side of two triangles. For example, if you are able to prove that this angle is equal to this angle C is equal to F, and BC equal to EF, then also you will be able to prove congruency. That is ASA method. Likewise, the AAS method is that you prove two angles equal in the corresponding two triangles. Okay, maybe you are proving this angle is equal to this angle. This angle is equal to this angle, and this angle is equal to this angle. You have to prove one side also equal in these two triangles, one side each. So suppose you proved that okay, this angle is this angle is equal to this angle, and this side is equal to this side, then your AAS criterion will be proved. Important part to take care of in AAS criterion is that the side, that one side which you are proving equal, should be a corresponding side. If you have proved this angle is equal to this angle, then this side will be corresponding side of this angle. And if you are able to prove these two equal, that is BC is equal to EF, then your AAS criteria fulfills. Suppose you are not proving that, rather these two triangles you have taken, these two angles, this is equal to this is equal to this, okay, and you chose this side proved to be equal to this side, then AAS criteria will not be applicable, because this side is not part of any of these corresponding angles. Either you have to prove opposite to this and this side equal, or this and this side equal. Hope you understand this distinction of AAS. SSS is simplest. Because DEF has to overlap exactly, so it's very obvious that AB must be equal to DE, BC must be equal to EF, and AC must be equal to DF. If you are able to prove that, then also congruency is proved. The last one is specifically related with the right angled triangles. If two triangles are having one right angle in that each, so right angles will be equal to right angles 90 degree. The hypotenuse of those two triangles must be equal and any one side must be equal. If you are able to prove that, then also the congruency is proved. So these are 5 different ways in which congruency can be proved. In my next video, I'll try taking one by one each method of proving congruency, and I will try explaining those methods by simple examples. By now, I hope that you have understood what is congruency and what is the result of the congruency, which are called corresponding sides and corresponding angles, and what is meant by corresponding parts of congruent triangles are also congruent. Thank you very much.